What's happening, everybody? It's yours truly, H-Man. I'm here to talk to you. Well, kind of tell you a story about something that happened on March 28th. For me, that was super scary. Um, this might be end up being a long video, but it's important to me, and I've held back on telling everybody about the whole story about what happened. I've told people when I was in it. I messaged a couple people and told them my situation at the time, but I never told them how I ended up at that stage. So I guess this is the friends, the family, it's whoever's watching. Y'all know I was part of a car accident back in 2002 on Christmas Eve night. Left paralyzed from the waist down. And if y'all don't, there you go. You can watch the whole story on one of my other videos. I have to find it though. You'll have to find it. And so for all my life since the accident, I've struggled with getting UTIs, urinary tract infections, and so I get them constantly. Like, I get them a couple times a year. And, like, this time, we have the whole COVID thing going on right now. And, I didn't think that this was a really bad time to go to the hospital. And I didn't think it all through. So I thought, I was having symptoms of a UTI. And I was like to my parents, I said, hey, let's just go get it checked out, because I was used to, this is my first time I've ever been to an adult hospital. And then, because since I turned 19, I hadn't had no problems. And before I was 19, I would go to a children's hospital. And there it was very quick, like I could be out of emergency in 2 hours by just giving me some antibiotics to take at home. And so I thought that's all it was gonna be. And then I went in. No, sorry, I didn't. I waited it out a little bit longer. Then I started having, having half breaths. Like I wasn't, for some reason I wasn't breathing properly, or I was kind of there was something going on with my breath. So I'm like, I might need some oxygen. So we called an ambulance. Ambulance hooked me up to an oxygen machine, and they took me to emergency because I was told I had this UTI problem. So we get there. I'm already IV'd up and everything. Y'all know that I hate IVs because they're a pain in the you know what. And I'm trying not to swear as much in this video. So thankfully, the COVID cases weren't as much in emergency, so I thought everything was gonna be all right. I'm gonna be out of here in a couple hours. So we went in. I guess I fell asleep or something, and all I know, I woke up in the intensive care unit in the ICU, and I started losing my mind, I swear, because I was like, oh no, they kept me. No, they kept me. I'm calling my mom, I'm calling my dad, I'm calling my other doctors. I'm like, come get me. Like, they kept me. Please save me, because I don't want to stay here. I'm in the ICU. So, and the ICU is made for kind of like with it's all closed all around. And to get in, the nurse had to go through a door and another door, put on a bunch of masks and stuff because of the whole COVID thing. So, I had nothing to do in this room. Like, I was isolated in a room and with nothing to do, no TV, no nothing. So, but I decided to take a nap, and I guess I napped. I also suffer from sleep apnea, where sometimes, it's harder to breathe during the nighttime. I don't know the full definition. You have to Google it, like I did. And they've never seen me before, right? These people at the hospital, they think that everything is new to them and what I haven't told them is going to be super new to them. So they thought, like, during my sleep that I stopped breathing. And they intubated me. The whole last thing. Like, they put the fucking tube down my throat, 2 tubes in my throat, a tube down my nose, a tube in my neck, which I actually still have a scar for right there. And they had sticky thingies everywhere. Monitoring my heart, I had like 3 IVs in this arm, 2 or 3 IVs in this arm that were just pumping things into me, and I had so many, like I had like one of those IV pole thingies, that motherfucker was full, and it was pumping stuff into me constantly, and they were feeding me through the tube in my nose, and oh man, and I woke up to all this, like with the tube in my throat and everything, and I'm like texting on my phone and asking them, I'm like, what'd you guys do? I was just taking a nap. But y'all thought I had COVID and just did the whole thing on me. And I was super pissed. I was angry. I was angry at myself for not explaining things first. And every time the nurse would come in, I'd be like, yo, can we take this out now? Can we take this out now? Can we take this out now? And they'd be like, no, we gotta wait until your results come back. And fuck that swab thing too. They go up with the stick all the way up to your brain, and it hurts like the worst 15 seconds of your life. Yeah, so I had to keep that tube in my throat and all the tubes in for about, I say, at least 3 or 4 days until they got the full results in. And they thought I had like pneumonia and stuff, and like chest issues, or my left side of my lungs wasn't like had fluid in it, and you know, these were all assumptions that they made and did the precautions that they were supposed to, but it turned out to be nothing. It turned out to be no COVID. It turned out no pneumonia. I just had that UTI that I need to be treated for, and that could have been done with just IV antibiotics or oral meds. And so after 3 or 4 days, finally, I took that damn tube out my throat, and let me tell you, they do not knock you out to take. They knock you out to put it in, but they don't knock you out to take it out. They'll just be like, all right, Harmon, this is what it's gonna be. You're ready. You're gonna count to 3, and we're gonna take it out. So they count to 1, 2, 3. They basically rip it out of your throat, and then you're coughing and everything. I couldn't breathe when that happened. And the tube in your nose too. They take that out when you're awake, and all the other tubes that they put in. And oh man, it was just so scary. It was just like the worst 4 days of my life. There have been other times, but that was just, it was unexpected. I wasn't ready for it, and I specifically told them to not intubate me under any circumstances. What I didn't say was if it was life or death. I gotta make that clear next time. Some of y'all might agree with that, might not agree with that. And then, so after like 3 or 4 days, finally, I was like, when am I getting out of here? Oh yeah, thankfully my mom was able to visit for like an hour each day in the ICU, which was really, really, really nice to see her. I wasn't able to talk to her with the tube in, but I was able to nod and, you know, give her a hug and stuff. And when I could talk, it was really cool to chat with her. Obviously, I wanted her to stay a little longer, but sometimes they were a little forgiving because they're like, well, he doesn't have COVID, so she can stay. And she was clean too. She didn't have nothing, like any cough or anything. I couldn't see my dad because, first of all, I didn't want my dad's got us off heart, and I didn't want him to see me in that state. So for me, it wasn't, you know, I mean, yeah, and so finally after that time, they sent me upstairs, up to the wards. And I was on the ward for maybe 3 or 4 days. In total, I was there for about My entire visit was a week, a week and 2 days. Yeah, 9 days or whatever. And finally, I got sent home on oral meds to take after all that. You know, I was new to the ward upstairs. Nurses were very nice. And like when I was about to leave, it was just like I was basically just sleeping there. And you know, the thing with having a tube in your throat, when they take it out, you still got like other fluids from that, because it's hard to cough with it in. And when they do this clean out thing, it's like a suction basically. When they, if you ever wanted to like get something out of your throat, they would throw water down your throat and make it cough everything up, and they would pull it out with like this pump kind of thing. It was terrible, but on the ward it was getting back to normal, and then they finally sent me home. I was great for about a week and a half. Then I had another more symptoms of a UTI, and I had to go back. Those 2 times. No, that time it was just a couple hours in emergency and antibiotics to go home. And then about 10 days later, I got symptoms again, and I had to go back. That time, I believe they kept me for at least a few days. And then I went home. Between the first time and the second time, it was 17 days that I was at home, and then I had to go back. And now, ever since then, I've been to emergency about 7 times, and all have been like bladder problems, and I have this thing called autonomic dysreflexia, that when my blood pressure goes up, it can potentially go to my head, and it did. And they said I could have had a bleed in my head, but I rushed to emergency that day and got everything figured out. They kept me for a couple of days then. That was the 7th time I've been there, and yeah, just been going through a lot. I try to keep a smile on my face because I know, you know, I gotta be an example for others. Trying to be this strong person all the time. You know, my parents want to see me happy. My friends that are near and dear to me want to see me happy. You know, but I'm a keep. You know, sometimes when we say we okay and we good, we not. But you know, we don't want to seem like we're asking for pity or we're asking for anything like that, because we all want to be the same, right? Because I always tell myself, you know, I want to be just like the next guy. You know, that wouldn't be in a situation like me. And I'm only in this. I guess if I wasn't in this situation, it wouldn't be so crazy and all these medical things. But yeah, that was my story. That's me telling. Oh yeah, because of all this, I had to stop going to school. I've taken the summer off on a medical leave, just to get back to normal. You know, I said to myself, what's the point of not being 100% all the time and putting in your all? That's a choice I made for me, and thankfully, my school was very understanding about that, and they said I can come back in September. So I start again on August 31st for my last semester of music school, and I finish on December 23rd. So I'm really excited for that. I get to go back to doing what I love. I'm making music now and writing a lot, and uh, and writing poetry and using that as a cleanse for me mentally and just in my heart. I appreciate everybody who was there with me in spirit through everything. Y'all was with me, and thank you to the people who replied to the messages when I would tell them what's going on. I don't really know what else I gotta say, but just I I think I'll keep trying my best to put others first. I know they say take care of yourself first, but I don't feel right doing that. I want to make sure you're all right before I am. I want to make sure that your life is going good. I want to make sure you got a smile on your face, even if I don't. I know that's kind of a weird way to, not weird, that's not the word. I guess maybe hypocritical way of thinking, because I'm choosing to not be happy, but it'll be good eventually, and brighter days are here to come. And yeah, I appreciate if you're still watching. Please take care. God bless you all. And yeah, let's get back to being 100% and just trying to keep going. This is a real smile on my face now. It ain't no fake one. So thank you all so much. We'll see y'all soon. Go like my music. Go listen to it everywhere on all platforms. Harmadar, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Music, Xbox Music, everywhere. Thank you all so much. Take care. Team H, man, until we die.